So what's up, guys? So how'd you guys come up with the album name ABC?
All right. It was just we were trying to figure out the name for a minute, and then Aqua Blue Chevelle, just Chevelle. I felt like it was classic West Coast car, and then that was pretty much Aqua Blue, dope ass color, and that was pretty much it. I spit it out there, and everybody was. I mean, nobody had a problem with it. They could be like, no.
I concurred.
Yeah. Okay.
I concurred.
Yeah. That's that name.
Okay, and what brought the whole group together? Like Aztec and Drew, what made you guys want to collab with each other?
All four of us, fucking SlowBurnCrew said it, man. Hey, you want to do a tape? And we're like, yeah, you know. And I'm thinking in the near future, we're gonna do some fucking, you know, like now or in a month or whatever. And they're like, all right, cool. We'll see you in a couple days. And they slid through, bro, every day. Yeah.
Okay. And how was it like working with each other?
Man, it was a dope experience, man. It was cool. We haven't known each other for a long time. We recently just met through doing different shows. We met at the No Filter Fest. I think all of us have met through that, you know. And after that, we just dug each other's music, and like we said, man, we all just connected and vibed out together. And it was a trip where they said they wanted to do something, and we knocked it out in like, I don't even know what, 2-3 days. It took us like
4 days.
3 to 4.
It was like 3 days, and then like the 4th day was recording.
Okay.
So yeah, we knocked it out pretty quick, man, and it was a dope experience to be able
4
to.
days. You guys knocked that out?
Four separate sessions.
Four separate sessions. And how were the sessions like?
I think it was like two back to back, and then like the next week we did like 2 back to back.
Okay, and how were they?
They were dope, bro. Nobody was telling us to turn it down. There was no distractions, you know what I mean? So it was just fucking, we were writing, threw on a beat, figured out different samples we wanted to use, and fucking Donnie brought them to life.
Right, that's right. And how'd you feel?
Man, it was fun. It was real fun. Like I would tell Donnie, like it felt like we were just kicking it with our cousins, you know, like just like there's a fucking whole ass like family function going outside. They're making carne asada and shit, and you know, and like the older cousins just step off to the fucking side, you know, and you know, fucking little cousins trying to come into the, hey, get the fuck out, you can't be in here. knowing damn well we barely got access, you know.
Yeah. Bro, that's the best feeling when you have your own studio and you get to have your own privacy, you know what I mean, and have full control of your art, you know what I mean. So how does that feel, owning your own studio?
It's pretty liberating, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we can be as loud as we want, we can go as late as we want, we can do whatever the fuck we want here, you know what I mean.
And the beauty of it is you guys are young, you know, so you guys got so much ahead of you guys. And what out of the album, what is your favorite track?
For me, my favorite track is "Meet Me Round."
Oh,
"Meet Me Round."
Because I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that.
Because I'll tell you why. Because I love that beat so much, and I always wanted to make a song like that. That vibe. It was kind of like, I just love that they got on that beat.
Right.
Because I would make beats like that, but there was nobody to really get on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these guys were so open to whatever the fuck I made.
So creative, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was dope.
I love the vibe. It was an R&B vibe. You know, shout out to the ladies. And my thing is, you didn't get on that track, right?
Oh, no.
No, and
I didn't get
out
on
of
it.
all the songs, I was like, man, Donnie Blue didn't get on that track, but you still produced it. So
Yeah.
I was like, man, it was such a beautiful song. It was such a vibe, you know what I mean? You guys killed it, you know what I mean? Aztec. What was your mentality going into that song?
Meet Me Round, bro. I don't know. I like to talk to the females.
Right.
So it was kind of easy for me. I felt like, you know, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
So he put that beat on, and the sample on it was fire, and fucking, I had something different in my head with the hook, but then Shooter brought the hook out, and it was over, bro. It was
Oh my God, the production, the whole thing, man, it's beautiful, bro. What was your mentality going into that song?
Oh.
It's all good. I was ready to make some R&B shit. That's pretty much it. Like we had done Zoom in, and then we had done Wake Up.
Fire.
And then everybody's like, all right, what's next? What are we doing next? And then I was like, I'm trying to do some R&B shit, like some slower shit, like some shit, like just some shit that we could get on for the females, right?
Right.
And he picked the sample, and then we fucking started creating from there. And I was like, oh, yep.
And
we're going
15 minutes later, it's like, all right, this is a song.
So you guys agree?
Yeah.
You guys agree that that's the top song, or you guys have a different?
Go ahead,
I think my favorite song would have to be Zoomin', man, because the way that it was the introduction of the whole tape. Like, we didn't know what direction it could have gone in. It could have gone anyway, and it's just, I'm a big believer in, like, nothing's a coincidence. Everything happens for a motherfucking reason. Place, time. We walked in, fucking can't. We made this at my house, so we were at my crib doing this. We didn't get to shoot at this dope ass studio or do it at the studio, but we didn't have it. Homies didn't have it yet, but at the same time, it was a dope ass. Like, we're down to work. They brought their equipment to my crib, and I just cleaned up my room and made it as comfortable as I could for the homies. Brought in whatever chairs I could, and we sat down. I put on the TV, have a little flat screen on the top that's mounted, and I was just like, all right, so what are we gonna do? And Shortage was like, what do you guys want to sample? And me and my homie Aztec always talked about like songs from the past that we'd like, man, imagine we're able to just sample this shit, because him and I don't make beats, you feel me? So to have a homies that create beats like that, they could just create something from like anything, they're like, what do you guys want to work on? And we ended up going off of fucking what was it?
Active by Louder Shadow Brown.
And that was dope because homie was like, what do you guys want to sample? And he said Aztec said that, and Truth ended up saying like, man, that's a trip. I've been bumping that shit like all week, you feel me? And that's a song that resonates with me too, because I love fucking, you gotta love anybody that's Latino from the past that came up and put it down for this shit. Like, if you really know your roots to shit, you know that song, you feel me? And you hear people sample it before, like Mac Dre and a Snoop Dogg with DPG and them. Cali is active and shit, but we put in our twist because we listened to that whole song, waited until literally the end of it, and homie was like, that's the one right there. He just like to see like, I know how that feels when you listen to a beat or we hear something and we're like, something hits us and we're like, we're gonna fucking write something. The way he heard that shit was like, I'm taking that piece. That's the piece. And then he fucking created that loop, and we just started listening to the production of fucking Donnie getting down on that shit. We're like,
going with Donnie. So I'm gonna lead perfect because you're leading on to my next question.
Okay.
Donnie, you made all the beats.
Yeah.
You made all the beats. What was your thought process, man?
My thought process was nothing, bro. I was just having fun.
You were having fun.
Yeah, bro. I love producing.
Right.
So, I mean, the situation with them in Drew's room and me producing for like a group of us, that's nothing new, bro. We do that all the time.
Right.
Whether it's just me and Chuda, or it's me, Chuda, Mac, me, Chuda, Oso. It's always it's like it wasn't foreign to me, so I'm like, all right, here we go.
Right.
Here we go again.
And that's the beauty of doing what you love. It's like, it doesn't even feel like it's a hassle, like it's like taking anything out of you, you know what I mean? Like, there's no bad energy in music, and there's always like positivity. When you're always striving for something great, it's always a vibe, and especially with your boys, doing it like all together. It's an amazing feeling.
Definitely.
Now, is it difficult writing to your own beat?
It could be. It depends. Like, on Meet Me Round, I had trouble writing, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna force it. Right. And these guys already got something crazy, so I'm just gonna let them write on it. But because I'm a producer, I guess I'd be overthinking shit. But like, I do know what I like to write to.
Yeah.
And for the example, Meet Me Round, like, all right, I wouldn't write to this one, so I'm not going to, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it depends what kind of beat it is, because I can make any type of beat. but I wouldn't get on any type of beat.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
got
mean?
you. I got you. I got you. I understand. So,
Dope.
talking about writing, I did want to ask you about your transition of like getting into from production into rapping. But I want to ask Chuda, since he's right there with you, side by side.
Yeah.
How do you feel his progression has been in rapping?
Oh man, I could talk about this all day, cause he's a real goon right here. This man right here.
Goon.
In such a short amount of time, his progression. I already knew he had it. Like when done. I think the first song we had wrote was maybe, what was it, Lonely Crusader?
Oh, that one? Yeah. But the first song I was on Hollywood's Burning.
Hollywood's Burning, yeah, he was getting on some verses, but he started writing the Lonely Crusaders verse, and then it just started building off of that, and then like in such a short amount of time to get the song Lonesome, like that was like such a fucking level up that I heard. I was like, wow, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so happy that both of us are rapping. It makes me happy that, it's not like fucking, that's my producer, that's my rapper, it's just, no, that's my boy, and that's my motherfucking family right there, for real talk. And I love to see the progression. Every day he's progressing. Every time we do some new shit, I'm always like, man, you're getting so good. Like, and even like, there's verses where I feel like he ate me up, and I was like, all right, that's sick. Like, he's made me rewrite verses because I was like, okay, I didn't know it was coming like that, my bad. I thought we was just floating, but my bad. Let me come a little harder.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's what I gotta say on his progression.
That's I was gonna say the same thing, man. You came a long way from producing now to rapping, and I give you my flowers. Because, bro, your beats are amazing. Now you're getting into rapping, and it's just the beginning. So I could only imagine you 5 years, 10 years from now. So
Thank you, bro.
Keep this,
Thank
going.
You,
I root for everyone here. I am gonna ask, who is Avenue Sound, and who is your top 5 producers?
Producers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask the same thing for SlowBurnCrew.
All right, so Avenue Sound, it consists of me and my brother right here, Drew the Dragon. I started rapping in 2009. I know that made me sound old as shit, but I started rapping in 2009, man. And if you listen to a lot of my previous catalog, you see that I progressed a lot. That's how I feel about my previous catalog. But I met Drew through my little brother. They were homies, and we all had a rap thing going on. But Drew's the one that kind of like, he like stuck it out more. My brother was into it because it was cool at the time. It was like the mixtape era. So it's like, oh, cool, hop on the track. It's cool, hop on the track. But Drew was the one like, all right, bro, can we go record? Can I go to your house? Can I, and he wanted, he was always writing. So,
Right.
Me and him been friends ever since, man.
So top 5 producers.
Top 5. The first one is Timberland.
Timbo.
I love all his music, man. The second one would have to be Pharrell. I like a lot of soft shit, man. I can't even lie. You know what I mean?
That's a good one. Pharrell's a good one, bro. Fuck.
Am I going from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Whatever.
All right, so I was 5, 4. I would have to say Scott Storch as number 3. I mean, he has the hits, bro. He's a fucking legend. But number 2 would probably have to be Il Angelo. He's from Canada, I want to say, and he produced a lot of early Weekend stuff. So he was dope. And the number 1, bro, is Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre from the West Coast, man.
Yeah.
Everything Dr. Dre touches, bro, it turns to fucking
Amazing.
gold or platinum. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, those are my top 5.
You got any top 5? Drew?
Man, producers, yeah, man. Fuck. All right, so let's see. I'll go Dilla. Jay Dilla's one of my like number 1 favorite producers, like hands down. I'll go because I love boom bap shit. You feel me? So I mean, I gotta go DJ Premier. DJ
Likewise.
Premier's another one that's just like Above the Clouds is one of my favorite fucking tracks. Fucking Just so many different, like so many that he has a whole fucking beats that collected dust tape.
Right?
Gangstar, bro. Rest in peace to Guru. Guru's one of my favorite MCs, bro. Like that's, man, that's my shit right there. Let's see. Third. Let's go. DJ Quick. Since you said Dre, man, DJ Quick is a person that just like phenomenal, man. Sugar Free is one of my favorite MCs, man. And I guess what was it, Why You Bullshitting, or one of those songs was supposed to be for Pac or some shit like that, and they ended up being for Sugar Free. So Sugar Free killed it, and they all the songs that they've had together, man. So his production is just crazy. His catalog. Let's see. Caught me off guard with these. I don't know if you guys
an extra one though.
I don't know if you guys have heard of Nujabes. Yeah. Nujabes is one of my fucking favorite. What's the name of the anime that he did? Did Black Samurai. Okay. Afro Samurai. Afro. Okay, so he's the one that did the music on that. But his Model Soul and like just a bunch of different songs that he's done is just like I could listen to those beats for fucking days, man. And then the last one will go. Just because I can't really think of anything else right now. Just Easy Mo B. He's the one that did a lot of fucking Biggie shit, man. A lot of, you know. So yeah, we'll go with that, man.
I respect that. I respect that list, bro. Fucking great artists, great producers. You know. Now for SlowBurnCrew, what are your top 5 producers?
This is my least favorite question on the face of the earth, okay? Because there's so many, and I guarantee you the next time you ask me, it'll be different, okay?
I like that.
But right now, okay, I always have one for Pete Rock, because he was without him, I wouldn't be producing. Because that was the first beat I ever listened to. They Reminisce Over You. Okay. That was the first beat I've ever heard. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
It like blew your mind.
Yeah. So from Pete Rock, and then J Dilla will always be up there as well. Pete Rock, J Dilla, and then Kanye will always be up there as well. Because Late Registration changed my whole aspect of producing, the way he samples and shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Knowing how to use his voice.
Up to now, his shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Next, DJ Quick is up there for sure. My main West Coast influence is DJ Quick. How he uses the cowbells and the perks. I literally just tried to replicate him. Yeah. Like the Tonight cowbells. Yeah. That shit is crazy, dude. Yeah. I love those. And then this is no order, by the way. There's no order. And then for the last one right now, I'll give it to Pharrell. I love Pharrell. Yeah. I basically steal his fucking the 4-star on all my shit. I just do it all the time. Yeah. But I'll have it like hella random in the beat. But yeah.
So what's the relationship with Mary?
To who?
I was you.
To me? It's beautiful right now.
Okay.
It's going great.
Can you explain why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because she gave me a new angle to look at life.
Who is Mary?
Marijuana.
Okay. And when did you start smoking?
I don't even. It's probably like a year now.
I want to say 2.
2 years already?
It's been 2.
It's been 2 years.
2 years. I'm going on 15, and I think I need to give my lungs a break.
It's probably not a good idea. I got bad asthma, but fucking.
No, you're good. You'll get there, bro. You'll get there. But so my thing is, what experiences brought you guys here today at this moment, and what changed your like mentality coming into this game? And I'm asking you, Aztec.
Music brought us here, bro.
I know you said you started 2009.
2009.
So what changed from then to now?
Like with music or with
with
like production?
How did your mentality with music change? from 2009 to now?
Honestly, bro, when I started music, there was a lot of people that I was around that weren't serious about it.
Right.
They're just like, "Oh, put me on a track. Put me on a track, bro. Say my name in a song." You know what I mean? So I heard that so much. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm fucking with who's serious. You know, because I'm seriously doing this. Before it was a lot more. I wasn't so confident with my music. Now it's like, don't fuck with my music. Don't fuck with my time because I have a family. So when I'm here, it's taking away time from all of us. It's taking time away from everything else we got to be doing. You know what I mean? Like we could be recording right now, but you know, this interview is good to let the people know, know us
about the situation as well.
Yeah,
because you and from the lifestyle is a little different. Like you said, you got a balanced family and your career, and like with SlowBurnCrew, it's a little different. You know, they got that, more freedom, more time. But like when it's a family thing, you got to take a little bit more serious because you're on their time as well.
I'm definitely on my family's time, and it goes both ways. But I just like to get as much done as I can in the time I got,
Right.
And that's what brought me here.
Yeah.
Like Slow Burn is a big influence to me
right
now because since I met them, I love their music, I love their content, everything they put out. And yeah, bro. I wouldn't be fucking with them if they weren't serious, you know what I mean?
So now that you've been in the game for like a few years, what advice would you give SlowBurnCrew or artists like them trying to achieve the same goal?
Younger artists.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, time. Just manage your time as best as you can and use it, because you can't get it back, bro. You can't get time back.
Right.
You know what I mean? The money will come eventually, but time, you can't get that back. So do as much as you can and make as big as an impact as you can. You know what I mean?
Right. And what about you, Drew? What advice would you give a younger artist or an aspiring artist trying to achieve, this rap career or this music thing?
If you're really like serious about it, prepare yourself, because there's been so many times that I was unprepared and I went to so many different places where like opportunities were present and I seen that shit and I was like, oh fuck, I'm not ready yet. Everybody around me ready because they prepared a little bit better than I did. So I have to go back to the drawing board and make myself prepared to be able to get to where I want to. That's why a lot of people complain, or a lot of people will say, I'm not where I'm supposed to be because of this, or I'm like, don't make excuses. But at the end of the day, it's up to you, because you know what it's like to like see something and feel like, okay, man, I got to do this shit. And if I do this right now, I know it'll change me. But if you lag on it and you're lazy and you don't prepare, it goes away and you think the opportunity is going to present itself again. It might be a year, 2 years, 3, 5, 10, 20 years that you see that opportunity again. So if you were ready, you're going to kill yourself over that thought. Like if you've seen somebody that was popping or something and you just had some information or some music, or if you had, I didn't even have music at sometimes, I just had a mixtape that homie recorded for me, but I just was rocking with that at shows, and then people were trying to listen to me more, and I was like, fuck, I don't have anything else. I just have this, and I don't even have nothing you could listen to me on. It's just, fuck, I gotta create something better, So I would say for a younger artist, prepare yourself. Make sure you're prepared if you're really about this, and just take opportunity when it's presented, if you could take it, and just, rock with that shit.
Nice. I agree. I totally agree with you. Because I have been rapping for 8 years, roughly 9. But I totally agree with you guys. Now, SlowBurnCrew, what can you say that you've learned from the artists in your town? Like
in my town?
Yeah. Like who stood out to you in your town?
A lot of artists from my town are the homies.
Right.
From Atwater.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of them that, through no fault of their own, they had obligations they had to fulfill. Right. Or whatever happened in their life. But the homie Surgeon, the homie Oso, the homie Mac G, these guys are really, really talented.
Right.
And I don't know, What was the question? What did I say to him?
No, like who stood out to you the most?
Who stood out to me?
Yeah,
Everybody
like,
who's here right now.
What have you learned from like other artists?
What have I learned from other artists?
Yes, in your town.
I learned that there's no slacking off.
Okay.
Because everybody else is always working.
Right.
And if you stop working, then it's gonna get a little, you know.
Right. Gotcha.
But yeah.
Do you feel like it's a competitive vibe? Like,
I think inherently as people we're a little competitive, but I think what we're building now, community wise, with all these artists, I'm just happy to be a part of it.
gotcha.
And for the most part, it feels very welcoming and supporting and motivating.
Yes. Now, Avenue Sound, how did you guys get in touch with each other? How did you get in touch with Aztec, Drew?
So like he said, man, it was through me and the homies. I met my homie Guy in high school, where it was just funny how we met, man. We were just, we had a lot of different, because we went to different schools, so I had always heard his name around. He heard my name around. I didn't really like him, and he didn't really like me, but we ended up being cool because we knew everybody, that all our homies were the same. So how are we gonna be beefing? That'd be hella stupid. So we ended up being cool, and we got hella cool because we listened to Lil Wayne, and we were just on that mixtape Wheezy vibe and just a bunch of different old school music that we listened to. And I was like, man, I didn't like this motherfucker. This was hella cool, And then my other homie Nico, who I met in junior high, he was rapping with his brother as well, So I had these homies that were rapping, and I didn't rap. I was just fucking writing graffiti, I was just a writer, That was like my first element of hip hop, and that's what, like, the homie, I was rapping E40 one day, and the homie Nico see me in the locker room, was like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Is that you rap? Like, that's you?" And I'm like, "Nah, fool, that's E40. What the fuck?" Like, I'm just spitting his shit. He's like, "Have you ever written anything?" And I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "Well, fuck, you should." So I ended up writing some shit, and I thought it was dope. Then the fucking little by little, we just started talking, and I think I went to the fair with the homie Guy, and I ended up meeting him because he was like, "We're gonna go meet up with my brother." So we met up with him. I was at the fair right by the little fucking photo booth in Turlock, and I remember I was just talking with him like, "Hey, nice to meet you, bro," because I had bought his mixtape from his brother in the lunchroom, where he was just like, "Hey, my brother's raps, you guys want to buy one of his CDs?" And nobody really paid attention except for me. I was like, "He raps?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck? He's from Turlock?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let me buy one." So I bought one. It was fucking
You selling the CD?
highly motivated.
I was selling CDs, bro. Highly motivated. I had 1 through 3. One ain't on no platforms though.
That's the one, and that's the one I bought, bro.
That's the one he bought, man, and yeah.
My homie G's like, "Yeah, my homie Guy was like, yeah, I'm on one on Dozens." He's on the song Dozens and shit. So I took
I even made the beats on that damn thing from this little program that I had, and yeah, bro, it was horrible.
And I hadn't met him yet, so I remember I just bought that shit and I took it home, and I was already vibing to that shit, and I think subliminally that made me want to rap too, because I was listening to, like, all the people I told you, bro, I was listening to them from the get-go, like I love hip hop, and I was just listening to it because I love it. But I guess naturally, since listening to it, I was able to write, because my first raps weren't even, I guess, whack. The homies were like, "Man, that shit's dope." So I took it to him the day I met him. We were right there at the fair, and I was like, "Hey, bro, I fuck with your mixtape. That shit was fucking dope." He's like, "Oh, thank you, bro. Like, appreciate that shit, little homie." I was like, "Hell yeah." And we just started talking whoop-de-whoop, and then I don't know where I got the confidence to just be like, "Yeah, I rap." And he's like, "You do?" And I'm like, "Well, nah, I have like a verse, or, like I got some." He's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Can I rap it to you?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I rapped it to him, and then he was like, "Hey, that's just fucking dope. Like, have you ever recorded anything before?" And I'm like, "Nah, I never recorded nothing, He's like, "Oh, well, next time, guys in the studio, pull up." And in between that, me and Guy and Nico were like, "Hey, let's fucking write some shit." So Nico sent us a fucking cause Guy and Nico hella love Tech Nine, and they put me up on. I knew Tech Nine, I knew a few songs, but they put me up on Tech Nine like that. That's one of my favorite artists as well, bro. But yo, from what's it called? From just they sent me the "Am I a Psycho" beat, and we wrote to that shit, and then we went to his house. and we recorded that shit, and then I recorded my first that little verse that I had first, and then after that we recorded that other stuff, and it's been history ever since, man.
Yep.
On some real shit.
That's dope, bro. Cause you guys go way back from not liking each other to now fucking, you know what I'm saying, getting off on a song together, bro. You guys do well with each other. You guys complement each other so well.
Thank you.
And so I was gonna get to you, Chuda, and I was gonna ask you. You are on like 3 hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that like were you trying to do that? Were you trying to just go in on hooks, or was it just coming to you naturally?
Nah, I just want to write what I feel right there at that moment, and you know, and if it's a hook, if it sounds like a hook, then I was like, oh fuck, well, looks like we got a hook, and if everybody fucks with it, you know, I'm like, all right, let's make it a hook. But I didn't like go in there and be like, I'm gonna make all the hooks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make all the fucking hooks. You know, and it's definitely fun making hooks. I've been working on them forever. I feel like at first I was not that good at them, so I was like, and one person I had to tell him, I was like, damn, how you get your hooks so good? He's like, you just gotta keep doing it. And I was like, okay, that isn't. All right, you know, I was young though, so I was like, so you know, okay, but no, realistically, I just fucking kept doing it, kept getting on every hook, and eventually they just started hitting. You know, I like hearing them back and being able to say like, you know, this isn't repetitive, this doesn't feel like it's forced. It's just like it ties the song together rather than, I guess, fucking take away from the vibe of the song, you know. I always feel like the hook is the most important thing. You know, fuck up the hook and then whatever the song. How's someone gonna listen to the song?
Yeah, I mean, they call it a hook for a reason, you know, because you hook the audience, you hook them on, and so I totally agree with you. I was gonna ask you, man, out of those three, was it 3 or 4? 3 of them.
There's 3.
So out of those 3 choruses, which one was your favorite?
Damn. I would say my favorite was probably Booger Sugar, because it was probably the most like I fucking really tried to do some different shit right there. I mean, I always wanted to go for a retro sound. You know, he's heard the fucking earliest of times of it.
We'd be recording for hours. I'm like, all right, let's do it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again.
Yeah,
just
like,
for hours.
Booger Sugar, that's like the psychedelic hook. Is that the one where you're talking about LSD, Molly?
That's that one.
Yeah. So what's your thought? Like, what do you feel about doing psychedelics, or what's the relationship between doing psychedelics and music? What's that relationship?
So, I mean, it's great that you asked, because literally I was on shrooms when we were working on this tape. I took the shrooms because I thought, all right, first of all, the shrooms were stronger than expected. Second of all, I took them maybe like on the freeway to get to his house, you know, so they would hit when we get there and we're working. We get there, and then he's like, hey, y'all want to go to the club real quick? Get some shit from the club real quick. And I was like, oh, fuck, all right, let's go. You know? And then, but me microdosing, you know, I thought I was microdosing, but these shrooms were fucking strong. These motherfuckers was kicking, you know? And we got to the club, and then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm feeling anxious right now, you know? And then, like, he goes inside, and we're waiting. And then fucking, and the next thing you know, I see my gauges and all, and they're all just like you know how it is when you when it starts affecting you, you start seeing stuff like this. Yeah. And then I was like, first of all, and I was like, why am I seeing visuals right now? I should not be seeing. I'm microdosed. So yeah,
it shouldn't be this strong.
Yeah, I'm low key freaking out. I was like, oh man, Drew's taking forever. Reality, he probably took maybe like 20 minutes, but it felt like an hour for me. And like, he fucking finally came back. We were driving back, and I was like so scared driving down the road. I was like fucking freaking out hella hard, bro. And then we fucking made it though. We made it home, and yeah, like it was it's fun. It's always a trip. Every trip is different to me. Even microdoses, everything.
Yeah.
And this one, I was comfortable enough to do it around them because I didn't feel a threat. I didn't feel like, you know, like I would be in an uncomfortable situation with either of them or anybody. You know, I trusted all 3 of them. to be in that room like that. And you know, it did hit when we were there at the room, and I remember pissing outside and fucking turning around. There's a fucking clown mask in the garage just hanging, and I was like, why? I was like, why? I was like, damn, that's so scary, bro. And I went back inside. I was freaking out, but definitely like, I also like the shrooms. I feel like you know, when they say you take the shrooms, that you're connecting more of your brain, you get more shit going through, brain connection, and I really feel like it made me dig deeper into my lyrics, you know, because sometimes I do just be saying whatever, but I mean, there's always realness behind it. Like, I'm not ever saying something that's I'm just fronting or nothing. There's always truth to it, no matter what I'm saying, even if it's some ignorant shit.
Right.
But with the shrooms, like, I feel like I took time to just really not try to dilute anything for masses. Just really wanted to just come across as poetic as I was in the beginning. Kind of wanted to go back to the roots, and it helped me focus to that point to where I was able to come up with some, you know, I was where I feel like I wrote incredibly fucking great. I feel like I made some great verses on this one, you know. And like I impressed myself with the wordplay and stuff I had done, you know.
Right. And a lot of people think like when you're on psychedelics, it's gonna diminish your creativity. And do you feel that way?
No, I don't feel that way at all. There is, and unless I'm anxious, you know, of course, there's always bad trips. There's always stuff. There's negativity all around. I want to say I already have a predisposition to fucking being like in negative thoughts of myself.
Right.
You know, and you know, so there's always a lot. It's always there, but I don't try to stay in that moment a lot. Right. Eventually, like, I steer away from it, and I'm able to see. But whenever there's those dark moments, you know, it does distract from what I'm doing, and I can't really just do. I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there because I'm thinking about something else, and it's just fucking me up.
And the energy is strong, you know.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
It's real heavy.
Yeah. And Aztec, you.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. So you are the only sober one, correct?
I am, bro. I am.
Catching weed clouds and shit in the air.
Yep.
So being sober, you know,
it's fun, bro. I like to watch everybody trip out.
You don't have like a strong like peer pressure, right? Like,
nah, bro. My whole life, bro. My whole life.
You don't cave into peer pressure.
Not at all, bro. Not at all. There was so many times, man, you're a bitch, fool. Man, you're a pussy, fool. You ain't gonna do it on the hood. And I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, with that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like out of a whole group of people who aren't sober, there has to be one sober one.
Yeah.
You know, if all the cops came over here right now, I'm gonna be the one to talk to them because I'm sober as fuck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are cool. You guys, you guys will pass. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but weed to me, bro, weed is not a fucking drug. Right. It is not. I'd rather anybody smoke weed than cigarettes. You know,
Facts.
I used to smoke cigarettes, but you know, like it just had to let it go, bro. You know, it's not good for you. But yeah, bro, I've always been the sober one. Even around my family, man, they're like, man, Angel's boring, and I'm just like, I'm cool, bro. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Sometimes I sip on a little something. I don't really fuck with beer like that, but you know, I'll sip on some liquor sometimes.
Right.
And I have got high. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been stoned out of my fucking head, bro. But I choose not to, man. I could fall asleep by myself.
Right. I got you.
The thistle dance. They don't want to know about the thistle dance.
They don't know about the thistle
They
dance.
don't know about the thistle dance.
That was back in the day, though. You know what I mean?
He's like, hey, fool, don't throw him under the bus, bro.
Maybe I have done drugs 1 or 8 times in my life. You know what I mean?
We all went to high school, motherfuckers. We all went to high school.
I went to high school and we had that cool...
We all went to school high, motherfucker.
Now, Donnie, I want to ask you like a question about production. Now, Chuda, you seen him, you know, go from like a vice versa direction that you had. Like, he started off as rapping or like, you know, writing, and then he went into production. Now, what is your thoughts on his progression from going into rapping into now like really producing.
This
You know,
Good
man,
question.
don't
Good
let him
question.
fool you, bro. He's been producing as long as me, bro.
Because
He's fucking good, okay?
Yeah.
You can't. He's crazy.
I
A
know-
lot of the times, bro.
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
No, go ahead.
Because he put me on to rap, hip hop, the whole culture. He put me on to it. So I was always like looking to him. I'm like, what is he listening to? Or what is he trying to make and shit? You know what I mean? So a lot of his influences passed on to me. So don't let him fool you, bro. This fool's been he's
Humble,
been
man.
nice.
Humble.
Yeah, you got
Humble.
you got
Nice.
some you got some production on the lower end, right? And I am gonna ask, like, what is your plans for yourself in production, producing beats? Are you
I'm gonna just keep making beats, to be honest. Like, I've been making beats, you know. I was always like, you know, I can't always like, you know, he's always gonna have beats for me, and
Yeah.
you know, even from the jump, which is everything he knows. I just fucking seen him do it, and if I have a question, I could just be like, hey, how you do this? He shows me, and then I know it, you know. So I really owe it all to him for everything I know for that beat shit, you know, and he keeps me going. He fucking every time I learn, makes me want to do something new with it. And with that
Right.
new information I just learned, I want to go make some new shit. So
Yeah.
I'm just doing that, and I don't really plan on. I mean, I would like to ship beats out. You know, I just recently started trying to. You know, like I've sent some beats to Mac G. You know, I know he's gonna do some crazy shit with him. I've sent a couple to Aztec, sent a couple to Drew. You know, I sent some to you. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We're doing a project
Yes.
ourselves. You know, and
Yeah.
I wanted to take care of the production. Really, I didn't want to sleep on myself as a producer. I didn't want to, you know, go under the radar. I want to be able to showcase my abilities, and I guess earn respect as a producer. But at the same time, I'm also like, I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm a producer. You know, I'm like, I'm an artist. But you know, I still think it'd be nice to be like, you know, like, oh, let's, you know, hey, fuck with this, man. Fuck with this beat.
Can I say this about this fool?
Yeah.
All right. So he's been making beats alongside me for the whole, like, ever since I got a laptop, right?
Right.
Fucking $200 Chromebook type of laptop. Ever since I got Ableton, we've been like learning how to make beats together.
Right.
But when he started getting on his beats, maybe like he's always been making beats and getting on them, but just something happened maybe in the last few years where his production just like, I know when it happened. I know exactly when it happened. He was staying at Oso with Oso for like a cool minute. They were living together. And this fool, he told me, he's like, I'm gonna use this time. Something along those lines, like, I'm gonna use this time to just grind out beats. And this fool, he was making beats. He had like 5 beats a day to show me. And then from the gap from when he started living there to when he left Oso's, it was like, man, what the fuck? I remember the first beat he played. It's not even out yet. It will be. He's gonna use it, I hope. The first beat he played, and I was like, what the fuck? I was just so happy, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because we both produce and we both rap. So it's good. It's a lot of like, you know what I mean?
Back and forth.
Yeah.
It's like trading Pokemon cards.
Exactly like that. Yeah, I gotta be. He's like, oh, yeah, here's the verse for your beat. I'm like, all right.
See, and that's the thing, man. For artists like Aztec, you don't make beats. So how hard is it to, like, you know, find a producer, you know, such as Donnie and Chuda, right next to you in like town, bro?
Yeah, I want to say Donnie's like the first producer I've worked with, bro. Like I usually purchase beats online from whoever I can. I speak to producers or whatever when I purchase their beats, but to see it happen in front of me, not on YouTube,
right?
I'm Donnie. You know, anything I tell him, like, hey, bro, can you do it like this? Can you do this? He's like, I got you. He already knows what I mean when I say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool to have a homie like that. You know what I mean? Like,
because you know how expensive it can get.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
The way it sounds with Donnie, yeah, it could get expensive.
Oh,
and Chuda, bro, like,
oh, he's taxing you, bro. Damn, you don't got the homie plug.
No, I'm saying the way. Come on, yo, because I mean, think about it, bro. All the dudes that would make beats like around our town, it would be more like that you know, mimicking some Bay Area stuff, which ain't bad. Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's just the way that they would do it was just hella simple. Like,
Yeah, little.
like it's just hella the way that he digs into his samples and the way that they get into their production is like when we listen to certain shit, that's you can go on YouTube and try to just, even if you don't know a producer, you can go on type beats all day and you could go on them and be like, man, that one's ass. That shit's ass. This fool don't know what he's doing. Where the fuck does the verse and the hook go? What the fuck? This fool don't even know how to play shit.
How to lay it out right.
But when you hear them, you're like, oh no, okay. And you're from right here, bro. Like he's from where?
Next door. He's right next door.
Man, dude, that shit's just dope. But I think it's more just we all connected. Like the way we connected was.
And I like that he's learning our styles, bro. Like he got like when he sends me beats, I like all of them. Because he already knows the style. Like this is for Aztec, you know. I could hear Drew on this.
Yeah.
I could hear so and so on this. You know. So being around him, he's definitely learning our styles and learning like who he can hear on it.
What do you guys feel is the overall outcome so far for you guys' album or EP? How do you feel it's going so far?
I think it's going great. I feel like we really didn't plan a promo for this one, and it was kind of all on the fly, like just ideas that popped into our heads, and you know, and it's been working out. It's been working out. All the authentic ideas right then and there when we do it, and like me and Donnie went down Merced, Atwater dispensaries, you know, put around some flyers and the posters with the QR code and whatnot. That alone is a journey of its own. It's so fun to be able to do it with my homie. Of course, every time, you know, it's fucking real bonding moment.
That shit made me so happy seeing your guys' fucking flyer on the fucking, you know, in dispensaries and, you know, the Valley Boys and then you guys went to the tattoo shop, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, my boy's putting in work right now, putting in footwork. And where do you guys see this EP going?
Where do I see it going?
Yeah, because I see it doing some numbers right now.
It's going to do numbers, but I think I know. The next Aqua Blue Chevelle album is when it's going to get crazy. Because this was like, all right, where are we? What is this? You know, figuring out the relationship. But now that we've gone through an album, gone through a rollout, and just kicked it more, you know what I mean? Just vibing off each other.
Are we going to get a second EP from the ABC boys?
I think it's safe to say that we definitely would. I can't give you a date, but we're definitely going to lock in again because, I mean, that shit was fun to me.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, that shit was dope, bro. Definitely.
My favorite song is Yeska. That's how you pronounce it?
Yes, sir.
Yeska. That shit's so fire.
Fumando Yeska. You already know.
Oh, my God, bro. Como dijo el viejo?
Como dijo el viejo, vamos puro para adelante.
Hey,
ya sabes, bro. That's that shit, bro.
Man, that's my favorite song, bro. But I look forward to the next project. I look forward to what you guys have in the future. You know, I give you guys my flowers, like I said. Aztec, man. Like I told you, bro, you know, earlier. I believe that your voice, you have a voice. You have a unique flow. You're getting into rapping. Your production is crazy. Your production is fucking, you know, up there with Donnie Blue. You, my boy. I love the flow. I love the switch ups. I love that you keep the culture alive. What, you know, that, and don't stop that either, you know, because we need a lot of more Latin artists. And so the next ABC EP, it gotta have me in it too.
100.
So
For sure.
we're gonna end it like that.
Cut.